You were conditioned long before you were aware of it. From childhood, you were taught a quiet rule. Be agreeable, and you'll be protected. Lower your voice. Don't offend. Be pleasant. Be flexible. Be easy to deal with. You were told that kindness earns safety, that softness attracts goodwill, that politeness is power. Now, pause and look honestly at the world around you. Who rises fastest? The one who waits to be chosen, or the one who decides? Who commands respect? The one who constantly agrees, or the one who sets limits without apology? Here's the truth most people never hear out loud. In many environments, politeness isn't virtue. It's submission dressed in manners. When you're excessively polite, you're not being noble. You're advertising vulnerability. You're signaling to manipulators, to opportunists, to quiet predators that your needs come last, that your time is flexible, that your boundaries can be pushed. That resistance isn't your nature. You think you're avoiding conflict. What you're actually doing is erasing authority. And if you've ever wondered why people interrupt you, overlook you, or take you for granted, it's rarely about your competence. It's about the signals your behavior sends before you ever speak. Today, we're dissecting 7 subtle habits, automatic behaviors you repeat daily without noticing. You use them in emails, in meetings, in casual conversations. Even when ordering food, you believe they make you professional. You believe they make you likable. They don't. They slowly drain your status until people feel comfortable ignoring you. Remove just 3 of these habits, and something strange will happen. People will respond differently. They will listen longer. They will hesitate before dismissing you. They will feel a change, but can't explain it. This isn't about becoming rude. It's not about aggression or arrogance. It's about something far more unsettling to modern society: authentic authority. In a world addicted to performance and politeness, nothing is more threatening than someone who no longer feels the need to appease. Let's begin. Habit 1. The apology reflex. Pay attention to your language. Someone bumps into you and you say sorry. You return incorrect food and start with sorry. You ask a question in a meeting and lead with sorry to interrupt. Stop. You're leaking power. An apology isn't neutral. It's a confession of fault, a social debt. And when you apologize for things that aren't your responsibility, existing, speaking, taking space, you're paying debts you never owed. In nature, when an animal exposes its throat, it's signaling surrender. When you apologize unnecessarily, you're doing the same thing verbally. You're telling the world, I am a burden. And here's the hidden cost language inflation. If you're sorry for the weather, sorry for traffic, sorry for asking a question, then when you actually make a real mistake, your apology carries no weight. You spent your credibility on nothing. This habit is driven by fear of tension, fear of disapproval. So you lower yourself preemptively, hoping to avoid friction. But psychology doesn't reward self-reduction. There's a principle called dominance complementarity. Submissive behavior instinctively invites dominance from others. By apologizing unnecessarily, you don't earn grace. You invite control. The correction. Replace apology with appreciation. Not, sorry I'm late, but thank you for waiting. One frames you as a liability. The other frames you as someone worth waiting for. Not, sorry to bother you, but thanks for making time. It's not manipulation, it's accurate framing. Reserve apologies for real harm. For everything else, silence beats submission. Habit 2. The submission smile. Picture this. Someone speaks to you disrespectfully. A boss criticizes unfairly. A client crosses a line. Your body tightens. Your chest heats up. And your face? You smile. Not a genuine one, a thin, nervous mask. This single habit destroys credibility faster than almost anything else. Why do we do it? Evolution. In primates, baring teeth isn't always aggression, it's fear, a signal of harmlessness, a plea for safety. When you smile while being disrespected, you're telling the other person's nervous system, I accept this. You're rewarding bad behavior. Worse, you're creating contradiction. Your eyes say discomfort. Your mouth says approval. That incongruence makes you look weak and untrustworthy. Power requires alignment. A leader's expression matches the moment. Disrespect should meet stillness, not cheerfulness. The correction: reclaim your face. No anger, that's reaction. No smile, that's surrender. Relax your expression. Look directly at them. Say nothing. Let the silence do the work. Most people cannot tolerate the echo of their own rudeness. They'll fidget, backpedal, over-explain. They expected appeasement. They met a wall. That's where the balance shifts. Stop smiling when you aren't amused. It confuses allies and empowers adversaries. Habit 3. The oversharing justification. Picture this. You're asked to do a favor you don't want to do. You miss a deadline. You decline an invitation. You say no, and then panic. Suddenly, you're talking too much. I can't make it because my cat is sick, and my car's acting up. And honestly, work has been overwhelming lately. You keep going. You pile on reasons. You drown the moment in explanation. This behavior has a name in psychology. JADE, justify, argue, defend, explain. It's not politeness. It's a trauma reflex. It usually comes from a childhood where no was never enough, where boundaries had to be defended like court cases, where you learned that refusal required evidence. But in the adult world of status and perception, over-explaining is lethal. Here's why. The person who talks less controls the frame. The moment you offer multiple reasons, you don't sound considerate, you sound uncertain. And uncertainty invites negotiation. I can't help you move because I don't have a truck. Oh, I rented one. I can't meet Tuesday. I'm busy. What about Wednesday? You didn't state a boundary. You opened a bargaining table. Worse, over-explaining signals guilt. It tells the other person you don't fully believe you're allowed to say no. So you present your reasons like evidence and hope they grant you permission. High-status individuals don't do this. A CEO doesn't send a 3-paragraph explanation for declining a meeting. They decline because no is a complete sentence. And that doesn't work for me is a complete thought. The correction: master the executive no. State the refusal. Offer at most one vague reason. I can't make it. I have a prior commitment. My schedule is full. Then stop. The silence that follows is uncomfortable, but that discomfort is where your authority lives. If you feel the urge to keep explaining, recognize it for what it is: anxiety. That's not logic speaking. That's your inner child, afraid of being rejected. Calm the child, but let the adult speak. Your reasons are for you, not for a jury. Stop acting like you're on trial for choosing your own life. Habit 4. Does that make sense? You just finished explaining something important. You laid out a plan. You gave clear instructions. You made your point. And then you sabotage yourself with one sentence. Does that make sense? You think you're being thoughtful. You think you're checking for clarity. You're not. You're undermining yourself and quietly insulting the listener. Let's unpack the hidden messages in that phrase. I'm not confident in my ability to communicate, so I need reassurance. Subtext 2. I'm not sure you're smart enough to understand what I just said. It's a lose-lose wrapped in politeness. Psychologists call this assurance-seeking, a verbal tic rooted in insecurity. You're not checking their understanding. You're seeking validation for yourself. Imagine a pilot speaking over the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing turbulence and ascending to a higher altitude. Does that make sense? You wouldn't feel reassured. You'd feel terrified. Why? Because leadership assumes clarity. A leader doesn't ask permission for coherence. They know what they're saying holds weight. The moment you ask, "Does that make sense?" you lower yourself beneath the listener. You make them the judge of your competence. The correction. Erase that phrase from your vocabulary. Assume you were clear. If you genuinely want to invite engagement, shift from validation seeking to collaboration. Instead of, "Does that make sense?" say, "What are your thoughts? How does that sound to you? Any questions before we move on?" Feel the difference. One asks, "Am I okay?" The other asks, "Are we aligned?" You stay in control. They remain your equal, not your evaluator. Trust your voice. If someone doesn't understand, it's their responsibility to ask. Confidence doesn't chase approval, it assumes presence. Habit 5. The yes addiction. Pathological agreeableness. We live in a culture that worships the yes person, the one who's always available, always willing, always happy to help. You're told that being dependable makes you valuable, that being the go-to person makes you indispensable. It doesn't. It makes you invisible. This is basic economics, supply and demand. When your time is unlimited, when you say yes to every meeting, every favor, every extra task, the value of your time collapses. Scarcity creates worth. Gold is valuable because it's rare. Air is essential, yet free because it's everywhere. When you say yes to everything, you become air. Necessary? Perhaps, but completely taken for granted. Psychologists call this pathological agreeableness. It usually comes from a deep fear of abandonment. You believe that if you say no, people will leave, that your usefulness is the only reason you're tolerated. So you turn yourself into a resource, something to be mined. Here's the dark consequence no one talks about. This creates resentment. You say yes with your mouth, but internally, everything is screaming no. That split corrodes you. You become quietly bitter, passive-aggressive, drained, and people can sense it. Fake enthusiasm has a smell, and it travels far. Even worse, humans don't respect compliance. They respect boundaries. Think about the people you genuinely respect. Are they the ones who bend for everyone? Or the ones with a clear direction who protect their time relentlessly? Someone who says, "I can't take this on right now. I'm focused on X," is perceived as competent, intentional, high value. Someone who says sure to everything looks lost. Direction earns respect. Availability invites exploitation. You teach people how to treat you. If you never say no, you are teaching them that your needs don't matter, that you exist as a background character in their story, an NPC waiting around to support their mission. The correction: you must manufacture scarcity. Even if you're free, do not appear endlessly available. Pause before agreeing. Say, "Let me check my schedule and get back to you." That sentence alone shifts the power dynamic. It signals that your time is structured, that your life has priorities, that access to you isn't automatic. Start saying no to the small things so you can say yes to the important ones. Stop setting yourself on fire to keep other people warm. They won't mourn your ashes. They'll just find another log. Habit 6. The just virus. Linguistic self-sabotage. Open your inbox. Open your messages. Search for one word. I just wanted to check in. I just had a quick question. I'm just following up. This tiny word is one of the most destructive habits in modern communication. It's verbal self-castration. Why do people use it? To soften themselves, to shrink their presence, to preempt rejection. Psychologically, just translates to, "I know I'm an inconvenience, so I'll minimize myself before you have to." This is called hedging language. used by people who don't feel entitled to their own authority. But here's the irony. When you weaken your language, you don't sound polite. You sound unsure, and uncertainty makes people uneasy. If you don't believe in what you're saying, why should anyone else? Imagine a surgeon saying, "I'm just going to kind of try to fix your heart today." You'd run. Certainty creates safety. Ambiguity creates fear. When you hedge using words like just, kind of, maybe, sort of, you signal to the primitive brain that you lack conviction. And humans, unfair as it is, instinctively value confidence over competence. When you minimize your words, people subconsciously minimize you. You frame your presence as a burden before anyone else gets the chance to decide. The correction: go on a 7-day just detox. Before sending any message, remove the word just. I'm checking in on the report. I have a question. I'm following up. It will feel harsh. Your nervous system will panic. You'll think, "This sounds rude." It's not rude. It's clear. Leaders don't ask for permission to exist in conversations. They don't just want time, they take it, because they know their intent matters. Stop apologizing for having one. Habit 7. The self-roast ritual. The disguise you think is charm. This is the final habit, and it's the one you probably defend the hardest. You joke about yourself. "I'm a mess today. I'm horrible with numbers. Don't trust me with that, I'll screw it up." You believe this makes you likable, humbling, relatable. It doesn't. It makes you look unsafe. There are two psychological forces working against you here. The first is confirmation bias. The human mind hates effort. It doesn't want to reassess you from scratch every time it sees you. So it looks for labels, shortcuts. When you say, "I'm disorganized," you've done the labeling for them. From that moment on, everything you do is filtered through that frame. You drop a pen? "Of course," he said, "he's a mess." You execute something flawlessly? It's ignored. It doesn't fit the narrative. You are branding your own incompetence. Stop doing the opposition's work for them. The second mechanism is more subtle and more damaging. It's forced emotional labor. When you say, "I look terrible today," you put the listener in a trap. Social rules demand they disagree. They're forced to reassure you, to clean up your insecurity. That isn't humility. It's fishing for validation, and it exhausts people. At first, they'll argue with you. Then they'll sigh. Eventually, they'll stop correcting you. And the moment someone silently agrees with your self-insult, your reputation collapses. The correction: eliminate the self-roast. If you make a mistake, handle it cleanly. "I made an error. Here's the fix." Not, "I'm an idiot. I always mess things up." Separate action from identity. And if you want to be humble, elevate others. Don't dismantle yourself. Real humility isn't thinking less of yourself. It's being so grounded you don't need to comment on yourself at all. So why do people do all of this? Why? The apologizing, the hedging, the nervous smiling, the self-destruction disguised as politeness. Because most people are afraid of their own power. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the part of you that contains aggression, assertiveness, selfishness, and the capacity to cause harm. From childhood, you were taught this side was dangerous. That anger is bad. That disagreement is wrong. That force is immoral. So you amputated it. You became nice. Here's the truth no motivational poster will ever tell you. You cannot be a good person if you are incapable of being dangerous. If you can't say no, if you can't hold conflict, if you can't defend your boundaries, that's not virtue. That's fragility. A rabbit isn't moral for refusing to fight a wolf. It simply can't. True virtue comes from capacity restrained by choice. Strength, under control. That's what being genuinely calm means. That's what being composed means. That's what being respected means. The habits we dismantled, the smiling, the apologizing, the minimizing, are symptoms of someone who rejected their shadow. You were trying to convince the world, "I'm harmless. Please accept me." And the world responded with quiet contempt. Because instinctively, people know this. Someone who cannot protect themselves cannot protect anyone else. When you drop these habits, you are not becoming cruel. You are becoming whole. You're showing your teeth not to bite, but to signal that you could. And in that brief signal, people see boundaries. They feel gravity. They sense self-respect. And self-respect is contagious. This won't change overnight. Tomorrow, you'll feel the urge to apologize, to hedge, to shrink yourself to ease tension. That urge is biological. Submission is addictive. But now you can see it. Every moment becomes a choice, prey, or architect. Next time you enter a room, try this. Hold eye contact 1 second longer. Remove the just. Accept a compliment with a calm "thank you." Notice the tension. That tension isn't danger. It's weight. It's your reputation settling into place. Welcome to the other side. And understand this, what you've heard here is only what can be said publicly. Some material can't survive algorithms. Some insights don't get promoted, they get buried. Those are reserved elsewhere. If you're still here, you already know you're not watching casually. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you want access to what stays hidden, step beyond the surface. That's where the real architecture begins.